Best fundraising advice ever. Works like magic. Stop wasting time chasing uninterested or uncommitted donors and refocus instead your staff's energy and your organization's resources on fundraising activities that really matter so you can reach potential benefactors who can actually write the big checks. Implement the tips in this video exactly as stated and watch your nonprofit's fortunes change significantly. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. How are you doing today? I'm doing fantastic. I hope you are doing as great as I am. And if you are, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today I'm going to give you the best fundraising advice ever, and it works like magic as long as you implement the tips in the video exactly as I'm going to give them to you. You will see your nonprofit's fortune change significantly. Now, one thing I want to say here is that you want to take care, and this is number one, you want to take care of the fundamentals. Create a website. Make sure the website is also mobile friendly. And on the website, you want to talk about 5 things and only 5. Remember this, 5 things: who we are, what we do, why we do it, why you should care, and how you can help. Those are the 5 things you need: who we are, what we do, why we do it, why you should care, and how you can help. Don't waste time trying to write copy about convoluted processes, what you currently do in Latin America or Asia or Africa. No, go straight to the point. Go straight to the point. Remember though, that if you want to raise money for your charity the effective way, you need to put a human face on your facts and statistics, and you want to get to the heart of the matter. You want to direct all your energy and thoughts on selling the vision, the mission, the idea, and donations will flow naturally and continuously to your charity. Focus on the why. Now, for a website, if you really don't have the cash, you can use a free templates. There are a lot of platforms out there that offer free templates. And if you have a little bit of money in the charity's coffers, find a web designer who will volunteer. They can volunteer full-time or they can volunteer partially, or you can even go to a freelancer website. I mean, Fiverr is a great one. You also have others there, but you can get a great website done at a reasonable price. You need to have, besides a website that is mobile friendly, you need to have a media kit. Now, a media kit, also called press kit, is a document that includes information about your charity, along with different brand resources that are put together for reporters and media contacts who want to write about your charity. Now, media kits are usually used by businesses, but if you want to step out there, if you want to differentiate yourself, to set yourself apart in the charity world, you want to raise funds like magic, you need to have a media kit, right? Because besides companies, entrepreneurs, freelancers, philanthropies, or just about anyone can use a media kit, especially if the charity wants to establish a polished professional reputation. Now, remember, I'm not saying here that a media kit will guarantee you press coverage, but what I'm saying is that it will make it, having one will make it a lot easier. You can showcase the activities you're doing, the beneficiaries, the milestones you have accomplished, and everything else. Again, when it comes to media kit, you can use a free template, or you can find a web designer who will volunteer partially, for part-time or full-time, or again, you can go to a freelancer website. The third thing you need to do when it comes, again, we're still talking about the fundamentals here. You need to take care of social media. Now, we live in a world where social media have actually expanded their prominence. They're everywhere. They're ubiquity. They're everywhere. So you need to be on social media that matter to your cause and where your potential donors are. So if we talk about Facebook, you got to be on Facebook. Now, I don't care which platform you're in within the Facebook ecosystem, But our research has shown us that you need to be at a minimum on Facebook, the social media. You got to be on Instagram, and you got to be on WhatsApp. Another social media you got to be on is Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. So those are the four. So the Facebook ecosystem, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Now you might say, why LinkedIn? Well, guess what? That's where all the money is. That's where all the companies are. That's where all the professionals are. So you got to be on LinkedIn. The per capita, per donor, the amount you're going to raise on LinkedIn will be higher than the amount you're going to raise, say, on Facebook or Instagram. Now, of course, we have no data to back it up. We have no research done. It's just that a lot of companies we've talked to, a lot of small charities we've spoken to while researching for this show have told us that as long as you have a professional presence on LinkedIn, fundraising seems to be a lot easier, because those professionals who are already on the platform, they look at the charity who is there also more favorably. Now remember, you can also, so the fundamentals, you also need to have photos and videos. Those are important. Photos, this you don't have to hire anyone. DIY, you can do it yourself. You have a smartphone with your Android or iPhone, take great pictures for your charity. This could be about the activities you're doing, about the beneficiaries, or about the team itself. Also videos. Now the videos can cover a variety of topics. It could be about the charity's mission, vision, and goals. It could be about some recent activities you have conducted. It could be about testimonies, and those testimonies can come from three sources. Testimonies can come from beneficiaries, or from team members, or from donors. All right. So I've given you 5 fundamentals that you need to take care of. And that's the first part of this tutorial. I'll be right back right after this. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. Before I go into the second section here, somebody was just telling me in the studio that the fundamentals that I said, I didn't. Of course, there were 5, and I needed to sort of to recap them. So the 5 fundamentals you need to take care of in the first section was website, media kit, social media, photos, and videos. Now let's go to number 2. Number 2, you need to identify and contact the biggest taxpayers along with the most prominent individuals and organizations in your area. Folks, I'm going to repeat this because this is the best fundraising advice ever. It works like magic, but you need to implement exactly as indicated. The tips I'm giving you here, you need to do them exactly as stated. So the second thing you need to do after taking care of the fundamentals is to identify and contact the biggest taxpayers along with the most prominent individuals and organizations in your area. Believe me, you don't want to waste time trying to chase $5 or $1 from people who are not even interested in your cause. You want to chase the big donors, those who can write $1,000 check, $10,000 check. If you can get one of those, think about the amount of effort that will be saved versus chasing 1,000 people just to get $1,000 versus chasing one big, deep-pocketed donor who will just write a $1,000 check, right? So now the richest individuals, you can drive around or conduct, you can do some kind of intelligence to find the richest neighborhoods in your city. You can also dig into the property tax records of your city. Now, this information is publicly available for every city in the United States and Canada, as well as in other developed countries. If not available online, you can contact your city's property tax department directly to have an idea of all you have to do. You just need a certain neighborhoods, and they will give you the list of all the properties in those areas. What I'm trying to say here is that if somebody's living in a $1 million house, chances are they must be making good money. If they're living in a $1 million house versus $10,000 house, you know that they are deep-pocketed. You can also use an online house value estimator. Usually they're called AVM. This is automated valuation model, and you can use AVMs to find the price of properties. Now, if you go on the internet, you go on Google, how much is my house worth? If you just search for that, you'll receive dozens of home value estimators. All right. Now, the top ones right now are sites like Zillow and Redfin. Okay. So after doing that, once you do that, you need to write down the owner names and addresses of the 100 properties with the highest assessed values. Let me repeat that. The ultimate goal of the whole search here is to write down, after doing all this kind of stuff, to write down the owner names and addresses of the 100 properties with the highest assessed values. That's for the first category. Now, move on to businesses. You got to look into your neighborhood and where your charity is located. You got to find out all the multinationals that are located in the neighborhood, prominent small and mid-sized businesses. You need to gather intel on key executives working at those multinationals as well as prominent small and mid-sized businesses. Why do you need to get together intel? If you go want to talk to a company, let's say you want to go to a company X, and you want to ask them to donate to your cause. But imagine if you had some nice intel about the CEO of that company, and the CEO of that company had some kind of direct or indirect interaction with the cause you are pursuing. That would be fantastic. So for instance, let's say you are raising money for breast cancer, and you just find out that the CEO of a prominent company in your neighborhood, in your area, is herself a breast cancer survivor, or is himself someone whose direct family member has survived the condition. That's wonderful intel, because that means that CEO, that executive, will be much more likely to be open-minded about the cause you are supporting and write a big check to you guys. So you need to actually gather the key intel. You got to gather strategic intel on key executives. I'm not telling you to start spying on people. No, I'm just asking you to go on the internet, tap the person's name. If you go on a site like LinkedIn, this is public information. You will see where the person went to school, what kind of, especially if the CEO, if this person is a CEO of a big company, chances are they have received press coverage in the past. So all you got to do is just go on Google and go into the news section and just read. Gather as much info on the person as possible and use it to your charity's advantage. That's all. Nothing complicated here, nothing convoluted. You also want to, when it comes to businesses, you also want to think about the financial institutions in your area. This is where the money is. Follow the money. Follow the money, right? So what are the banks, the insurance companies, the family offices that you have in your area? Those are the organizations you want to follow. Also, the third thing you want to do when it comes to identifying the biggest taxpayers along with the most prominent individuals and organizations in your area is community leaders. Contact community leaders. I'm talking here about your senator, your congressman or congresswoman, city officials, other politicians. For example, if you have a rising star in either party let's say you have a rising star that is campaigning hard for the next election, this is the moment to grab his or her attention. You can also reach out to religious leaders. They are prominent individuals in the neighborhood. And you can reach out to judges. So when it comes to community leaders, you want to reach out to those folks who can make decisions, or if they don't give you a big check, if they don't write a big check to you, they can direct others to do so. Reach out to universities and colleges. Folks, all these things that I'm telling you, when you contact someone, please always put a human face on your facts and statistics and get to the heart of the matter. What I'm trying to say here is that you need to direct all your energy and thoughts on selling the vision, the mission, the idea. If you can do that properly and impeccably, donations, my friend, will flow naturally and continuously to your charity. Focus always on the why. When you reach someone, when you reach out to a business, to the richest individuals, to the community leaders, to the universities and colleges, focus on the why. Why are you doing this? Why should they help you? Why have others helped you in the past? Right? So reach out to universities and colleges. Reach out to your own alma mater, your staff's alma maters. You want to find prominent alumni from local universities and colleges and reach out to them. Contact the alumni office at those institutions to find out. Another thing you want to do is to reach out to other nonprofits within your area. For instance, if you have foundations, right? Foundations typically they donate, they give grants to charities. So you have to find out what foundations they are in your area and see if your activities and cause match their vision. You can also reach out to other charities that are focused on the same cause that you are espousing. All right. So identify and contact the biggest taxpayers along with the most prominent individuals and organizations in your area. There are 5 things you need to focus on here. Five factors. The richest individuals, businesses, community leaders, universities and colleges, and nonprofits. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. I have a lot to tell you, a lot more. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing fantastic. If you love the clarity and quality of the content so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you can be in the loop whenever we drop a new show, and we do this every single day, rain or shine. Now, I'm giving you the best fundraising advice ever. It works like magic, folks. It's mind-blowing. As long as you implement the tips I'm giving you here textually, you're doing it exactly as it is, you will see your fundraising blow up, your fundraising rise significantly. The third step you need to do here is to present a business case. Now, I'm talking about business case here, but we are in the charitable world. We are in the philanthropic world. It is important. Why? Remember that if you're able to convince a business that what you're doing is actually either improving the environment, and you need to quantify it, you need to quantify it. Business leaders will react to numbers. They will react to ROI, to percentages, to quantity, not just words, not just blah, blah, blah. We're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, we're doing that. No, add words. That's pretty cool. But you want to add numbers, percentages, ratios, commas, anything that covers digits, you'll get a higher response rate. All right. So present a business case. What I'm trying to say here is that you want to have a compelling 2-minute pitch about your nonprofit, cause, or event you're trying to raise funds for. No matter how much time you are allotted to present, you won't know until you walk into the room whether you will actually have 2 minutes or 20. Therefore, my friend, it is critical to have a short elevator pitch ready in the event your time is short. Know which one or 2 slides you're going to pull out. The ones that can tell the story of your charity. As I said earlier, you want to always include numbers. Back up your data. Now, when it comes to presenting a business case, or to use a better word, let's just say present a philanthropic case, present a charitable case, you need to craft an emotional story rather. Make it emotional. Sticking to fact is pretty cool, right? That's what's going to draw attention onto your presentation. But once people are hooked, Once people start listening to you, please mix things up with emotions. Talk to your donors about what's going on with breast cancer, what's going on with the environment, what's going on with pets and animals in the area, what's really happening, what is driving you. Remember what I said. If you are able to sell the vision, the mission, the idea of your charity, donations will flow naturally and continuously to the organization. Focus on the why. In your business case, after crafting an emotional story, please lead with the need. If you want to grab the attention of your audience from the outset, you need to identify immediately the philanthropic need you are trying to address. As I said earlier, is it that there are many dogs and cats that don't have a home in the area? Is it that a lot of young men in their 20s and 30s and 40s are now having prostate cancer? Is it that the environment is getting, with global warming and all this kind of stuff, that things are getting bad? You need to lead with the need. Address your audience's concerns. That's the third thing you need to do when presenting a business case or a charitable case. Address your donors' concerns. A lot of donors, a lot of benefactors are kind of scared about crooks. They don't know whether their money will be used properly, whether the charity is legit, whether the people leading the charity are legit. So you need to think about those questions beforehand and try to have clear answers. I'm not talking about blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about having a clear answer and you can back it up. So you need to address your audience's concern, your audience concern. Number 4, you need to find the right medium for your message. So when I'm talking about presenting a business case or a philanthropic case, how are you going to deliver that? Are you going to use slides? Are you going to use a one-pager? Are you going to send it via email? Are you going to just hand it out to the assistant of the CEO you're about to pitch the charity to? How are you going to, which medium are you going to use to convey your message? So that's definitely, it depends on your industry. It depends on the cause you are focusing on. It depends on your area. It depends on whether you are reaching out to a senator or to a business leader. It depends whether you're reaching out to a religious leader or to a sister charity. It really depends. You need to find the right medium, the right medium for your audience. Another thing you need to pay attention to while presenting the charitable case is to connect. Please don't focus so much on your slides, on your one-pager, or on your report that you forget that at the end of the day, you seek money from individuals, people with flesh and bones, people, human beings like you and me. Connect. Find ways to connect. Find ways to have a strong narrative. Find ways to connect the dots between the money you are asking for and how that money will be used. As I said earlier, the best way to connect is to put a human face on your facts and statistics. And you want to get straight to the heart of the matter. Now, human face, this could be faces from your team members. It could be faces from beneficiaries. It could be faces from donors. At the end of the day, no matter which face you decide to use, make sure there is a human face. And you want to put that on your facts and statistics. Now, if you are working on animals or in the environment, for instance, you can also put the face of an animal. The bottom line here is that I'm trying to say that you need to make the statistics and facts alive. You need to enliven them. You need to make them lively. And which better way to enliven them by putting a human face or an animal face or some kind of a very captivating headline. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwo. We're also having conversation today around, I'm giving you the best fundraising advice ever. Works like magic. As long as you apply the tips I'm giving you here directly and exactly as indicated, you will see your fundraising will just blow up. It will explode. Number 4, tell the donors exactly how funds will be used. How will the funds be used? And there are many ways to do this. Use what we call the 5 W's plus the H. Now, the first W is who. So you want to talk about the beneficiaries. Who are the beneficiaries? Who are the victims here? Who are the aid recipients? Tell your audience of donors who are going to give them, who are going to get the money. Where? That's the second W. Where is the money being used? When? When will you use the money? Timing is very important. If you're asking a donor to give you $1,000 and you're telling them, listen, I'm going to use that cash 10 months from now or 1 year from now, chances are they're not going to give it to you, right? That's just very simple. They're not going to give you the money right now if you're not going to use it now. If you don't need it now, why would they give it to you now? So you need to be very clear that, hey, listen, we need your cash. We need you to help us because right now, things are going on and things are really bad. We should have gotten that money yesterday because the needs are so urgent. Talk about what? What is your total funding need for the year? Let me repeat that. What is your total funding need for the year? Why do you have to say that? Let's say you're asking a donor to give you $1,000, but you're telling them that your total funding need for the year is $1,200 or $1,300. Do you think they're going to give you the cash? No, they're not. Because that means that if they give you that $1,000, they would have been giving you maybe 80% or 70% or whatever percentage. That's a huge percentage for one donor, unless they really love your cause. The donor wants to make sure that you have done your homework and have reached out to several donors, several potential benefactors, and that their donation is not the major source of funding for that year. They want to see that you have done some work and you're willing to work harder. So if you say, let's say your total funding need for the year is $1 million. If you reach out to a donor and say, listen, this year we want to raise $1 million for so and so and so and so and so. And we politely and humbly request that you give us $1,000. Do you think they're going to give it to you? I think so. Yeah, I think so. Because, 1,000 out of 1 million, that's 0.1%. It's very low. And chances are the donor might even give you more because they see that you are ambitious. You have a plan. You have goals. And you have done the homework. You've reached out to 1,000 donors. And they might be giving you more. So you need to specify your total funding needs for the year. And the last why, again, the five W's: who, where, when, what, and why. Why do you need that much? Why is this cause urgent? What's going on? Why do you need the money? And why do you need that much? So that's for the 5 W's. And then now we have the how. How much do you need from that specific donor? How much have you raised so far? How are you going to account for the funds raised? And anytime you connect with a donor, please be as specific as possible. That will help you forge a better rapport with that benefactor so that he or she becomes what? A lifelong supporter. That's the goal here. That's the goal here, my friend. You want to make sure that if you have a charity and you want to seal the deal, if you will, you need to do things in a way that make an occasional supporter a full-time, lifelong donor. Number 5, and this is the last thing you need to do: contact local journalists or national reporters. So you can either contact local journalists or just go for the big the big shabazz, you just go for national reporters. You can even do both. So you go to Google News and you can search for all the keywords related to your cause or area. This can be, we call this primary keyword, secondary keyword, or tertiary keyword. Let me give you an example. Let's say your primary cause, your primary focus point is cancer. In this case, your secondary keyword could be breast cancer or prostate cancer. And the tertiary keywords might be chemotherapy, radiation, immunotherapy. So what I'm trying to say here is that you need to go to, when you go to Google News and you search for those keywords, you're able to narrow down the list of reporters who have worked on those keywords. So you need to send a personalized email to that reporter. You can congratulate him or her on the story and then introduce your charity and tell him or her what activities you are focused on at the moment. You can do this for 10 you can do this for reporters locally, or as I said earlier, if you want to go for the big enchilada, you go for the national reporters. So you can do this for 10 reporters in your area and 10 reporters in national newspapers and magazines. And those magazines are USA Today, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, New York Post, the Los Angeles Times, the Washington Post, the Star Tribune, Newsday, Chicago Tribune, and the Boston Globe. Those are major national newspapers and magazines with high circulation numbers. Now, when you reach out to a reporter, you want to make sure you grab their attention. Make sure that the email is not boring. The email goes straight to the point. Remember that reporters get gazillions of solicitations every single day. Everybody wants them to cover their story, so they have to be very careful about their choices. So if you don't grab their attention from the get-go, chances are they're not going to do anything. They're not going to pay attention to your story. Now, if the reporter does not pay attention to your story, there is something else you could do. You can write a press release. You can write an impeccable press release. As a matter of fact, you want to check out our database of videos. We've done a fantastic video on press releases, and you might find it very relevant. So you want to write a press release, and you can share that press release on your charity's website, on social media, or through free wire service. And here are some reliable platforms that offer free press release submission to search engines and RSS feeds. So you have onlineprnews.com. So that's onlineprnews.com, newswiretoday.com, prlog, 1888pressrelease.com, and pr.com. We'll put all the links in the video so you can see it. So those platforms are onlineprnews.com, newswiretoday.com, prlog, 1888pressrelease.com, and pr.com. All right, folks. So this is really, I was just having a conversation with you, and I was giving you the best fundraising advice ever, and it works like magic. If you apply exactly the tips I've given you here, you're going to see money flow continuously and significantly into your charity's coffer. So number 1, take care of the fundamentals. 2, identify and contact the biggest taxpayers along with the most prominent individuals and organizations in your area. 3, present a business case, or if you will, a charitable case. Tell donors exactly how funds will be used. And number 5, contact local journalists or national reporters. I wish you good luck, and I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.